YouTube, what's going on? Welcome back to another track guide video. We're back in the MX5. This week we're at Oran Park. Oran, I don't know. We're at this new track. Never been a part of the calendar on iRacing as far as I'm aware, but super fun track. Really enjoy it. Let's learn how to go round here. Yeah! So here we are coming around the last turn here. Just trying to carry as much speed onto the start-finish straight. And we're going to be crossing the line as we shift up to 4th gear. Heading down the long straight into the first turn. Really tricky turn this. I shift up to 5th gear and turn in as the pit wall ends. That's my signal to turn in, and I'm aiming to get the car to clip the curb on the inside just here. And that's also my signal to brake when I get close to this curb. Because we're turning and braking from a high speed, you're going to want to brake a little bit more gently. You're not going to slam on the brakes as much as you normally would if you were braking in a straight line. If you hit the brakes too hard, it's going to restrict your ability to steer. You'll understeer off wide and end up in the kitty litter and even the tyre wall on the right hand side of the track. So just keeping it nice and smooth, braking all the way down to 2nd gear. And our goal is to just get the car as close as we can to this little curb on the inside, almost a gutter on the inside, and then go full power very, very quickly using all of the track on exit up to 3rd gear. And then we sweep over to the left hand side of the track to take the racing line for the 3rd turn. Braking point for the 3rd turn. You can use these tyres on the left hand side, or I like to use the curb on the left hand side as well. It's just closer to the racing line. I take it's more in my vision. I don't need to rely on my peripheral vision as much. Just easier to use really. Once again, very similar to the first turn, only this time we're braking in a straight line all the way. So down to 2nd, keeping it nice and tight, getting it hooked up in that little gutter there on the inside, and full power. Watch out on exit as you can understeer wide. Then it's just a short blast on full throttle up to 3rd gear before we start braking for the next turn. It's a very awkward right-hander this. As you begin to brake and turn, the track goes uphill, so you've got traction, and then it sort of drops away from you, so you lose your traction, you understeer, and then it begins to come back to you. It's very awkward, very difficult, and there's a lot of time in this turn, so I'd advise you to spend quite a bit getting this one right. For me, I like to use the tyres just on our left hand side here as a brake and turn in point. As we get there, we're going to brake, shift down to 2nd gear and dive into the turn. We don't need to brake that hard, we just need to control our speed as we go up towards the curb, and then as we're alongside the curb, that's when we can put the power back on, using all of the track all the way around the outside of the track as we shift up to 3rd gear and then up this hill. And now we're approaching quite a fast technical section, very easy to get wrong. As you get to the top of the crest, you turn in for this right-hander. Then I like to lift for a brief moment off the throttle to get my car to turn in a little bit more after my initial turn in, and then it's back on the power, drifting naturally over to the left-hand side of the track. You can use this small runoff on the left, however, it may unsettle the car as you go through this next section, which is hard enough as it is with all the elevation changes. So for the first part of this awkward section, braking and turning just as we hit this curb on our left-hand side, and our goal here is to just cover the brake to keep the car stabilised, keep it settled, keep that weight on the front of the car a little bit, and get the car pointing towards the curb on the inside. Start to feed the throttle in as you straddle the curb. As you can see, I'm probably at the limit of how much we can cut the curb here. Any more and you will get a 1x. I honestly don't know how I've got away with that, to be honest with you. But as we can see, full power, and then full power on the left-hander. That should come nice and easy if you get the right-hander right. And then this will naturally pull you over to the right-hand side of the track for this deceptively fast left-hander. So we're still in 3rd gear. I'm braking just as the curb starts, braking very gently. You're just trying to keep the car smooth and steady. So braking right up until we straddle the curb, and then we start feeding the power back in. Point of note is do not go full power straight away. If you do, the back end's going to get loose on you and you're going to lose time. And straight after this, we have another quick right-left, so flat out through the right, hugging the curb, and then as soon as you pass the curb, you begin to turn left. And as you can see on this lap, I just clipped the curb on the left. However, it is possible to completely straddle that. If you do end up straddling the curb, it can unsettle the car, so be prepared to modulate the throttle. So then just keeping the car pinned until we head into the braking for the last turn. Once again, we're lining up on the right hand side. There's some tyre marks. X marks the spot for me. That's my braking point. And we're going to go all the way down to 2nd gear. So we're braking hard initially down to 3rd gear, and then we transition to trail braking as we drop to 2nd. The goal here is the apex early. So at the exact point that this curb starts on the inside, that's where we want our car to be. That's the position we're aiming for. We should be in 2nd gear, and we should be applying the throttle, keep the car steady, and also gain some acceleration with the start-finish straight. And then we're up to 4th gear as we cross the line in a time of 1:15.772. Here comes the uninterrupted cockpit lap. Hope you guys enjoy. Catch you guys next time.
1 minute 15.772.